All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unlocking an intermediate level feature that will give you absolute surgical control over your AI coding assistant. It's called plan mode. And if you rely on AI to write code, mastering this workflow is absolutely essential.
Let's start with a visceral pain point that I know you've probably experienced. You ask for a new feature, and bam, 30 seconds later, the AI has just indiscriminately edited 14 files. It restructured a folder you literally never even mentioned, and it completely broke 2 tests. Now you're stuck digging through the mess to figure out exactly what it changed and why. It's incredibly frustrating, and it just kills your momentum.
Well, plan mode exists to stop that exact chaos from ever happening. Think of it like putting Claude in a strict read-only straitjacket when it's active. Claude can read files, search your codebase, answer questions, you name it, but it cannot write a single file, run a shell command, or make any changes to your project. Nothing moves until you explicitly say so. You just hit Shift and Tab in your terminal until the indicator says plan, or simply type /plan.
So why do this? It comes down to a core trade-off. A multi-file change that goes off the rails requires some seriously expensive, time-consuming steps. You have to explain the error, revert the code, and try regenerating the whole solution. Honestly, that usually takes way more prompting to fix the mess than if you just started with a clean plan. Plan mode totally removes those massive headaches by asking for just one simple extra step right up front.
To see how this actually works, let's look at a pretty complex example. Imagine a developer wants to add Google OAuth to an existing session-based authentication system. That is not trivial. You're touching routers, session logic, and config files. If the AI messes up that first pass, you are unwinding changes across all of them. So instead, by pressing Shift and Tab to enter plan mode, the developer sends a prompt asking Claude to analyze the auth directories and map out a detailed plan first.
Claude explores the codebase and comes back with a highly structured 5-step plan. Step 1, create the OAuth callback handler. Step 2, add routes to the router file. Step 3, add the client ID and secret to the config. Step 4, document it in the .env example file. And finally, Step 5, add integration tests. It lays out the whole session flow step by step, but here's the absolute most crucial point. Despite all this complex planning, not a single file has been touched yet.
Now, as the developer is reviewing this plan, they notice it included the .env example file. That's a great catch they might have missed until code review. So they press Ctrl+G, which opens the Markdown plan right there in their external editor. They can actually type an explicit constraint directly into the text, like do not modify the existing logout route. They save it, exit the editor, and hit Shift and Tab to authorize execution. Claude now executes those changes with that exact guardrail baked right in. This level of control dictates exactly when you should use this workflow. You want to aggressively deploy plan mode for expensive architectural changes, anything touching multiple files or big migrations. But, definitely skip it for fixing a quick typo or renaming a single variable. The planning overhead just isn't worth it for the small stuff. Oh, and a quick warning. Never accept the first plan blindly. Always double-check for aggressive file deletions or missing test updates before you pull the trigger.
If you take nothing else away from this explainer, let it be this key takeaway. Plan mode separates knowing what Claude will do from letting Claude do it. For multi-file changes, that separation is absolutely not overhead. It is your ultimate control point. It's the difference between just hoping for a good outcome and guaranteeing surgical precision. Read the plan, edit it if you need to, and then execute with total confidence. To read the full chapter on this feature, dive into 3 fully worked examples, and learn how to dodge common pitfalls, you can head over to codemaster.net. So, the next time you're about to ask your AI for a massive multi-file refactor, I want you to ask yourself, are you just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, or are you actively planning for success?